What's going on, y'all? This is about to get interesting. So we have to cover some PlayStation fanboys in this one, and people getting mad because I'm covering the Switch 2 now, and they can't handle the PlayStation 5 versus Switch 2 comparisons. They can't handle that I'm saying positive things about them, like I'm supposed to what only be negative. The only negative is the 79.99 Mario Kart bundle, or not bundle, but the 79.99 Mario Kart price. Outside of that, I'm looking at what else is actually awesome. And these people have the audacity to call me a fanboy because of that, where it's like, do you know what fanboy means? Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and look that up, right? So, fanboy meaning a boy or man who is extremely or overly enthusiastic fan of someone or something, right? You see that? Obsessive about comics, music, video games, science fiction. So there's nothing wrong with having enthusiasm. You can be excited about something and not be a fanboy. So I kind of think that's a little bit ridiculous, but and when you're obsessed about something, you don't really think about much else unless you want to try to distract yourself because you can't get to your obsession. But um, what I find funny is, and we're gonna get to that comment because it's gonna be here in a section. Actually, you know what? We can start with it right here. Unsubbed can't stand fanboys. He's mad. This is a PlayStation fanboy, by the way. He's mad because, or whoever this is because I proved that Sony is scared. And this is the recent video I just did about Sony panicking over the Nintendo survey and about how Sony had no right to jack up the price to $69.99. And because if you did that, you said you were better than your competitor. What are you saying, right? So this is what I told him. I said, take care. Not a fanboy, but do respect and to know the most, like I've told everybody. Backed up Xbox community for months, where people call me an Xbox fanboy. Now you're calling me a Nintendo fanboy. I've got called a PC fanboy before too when I was doing PlayStation 5 Pro versus PC. So not only have I been called a PC fanboy, a PC elitist, I've been called an Xbot, and now I'm being called a Nintendo fanboy. But yet I find it funny. Let's finish this. Backed up the Xbox community for months, big time. I said I was coming to be the equalizer. Did that so well, and I'm not done with it. I will continue to do what I do. Did PC coverage too. Did PlayStation 5 Pro versus PC coverage versus Series X coverage. And before all of that, I was streaming PlayStation 5 games on my damn channel and doing PlayStation 5 firmware updates and doing positive content about PlayStation. Like I said, coverage before Sony let me down, and now I'm a fanboy, right? Because Sony has been disappointing the past year and a half. And basically the past like 6 to 8 months. And you're gonna say that I'm a fanboy. A fanboy would only I can promise you more than anything on this planet. A PlayStation 5 fanboy is not going to defend anything but Sony, like Icon Air, like Nib, like all of them. They only do Sony stuff. How is it that I like Nintendo the most, but I still have a lot of connections with the Xbox community right now? I've been in party chats with a lot of them, hanging out, being friends, being cool, being down to earth with them, talking about Xbox stuff, stumping Sony with the Xbox community. Came over there. Did I have to come to a losing side? No, I didn't. But I did because I felt like that was the right thing to do. The imbalance was off. Microsoft actually had, for the first time in like a long time, had a fucking phenomenal opening of the year. Ended off the year, and I felt like I had to give them credit for what they deserved. A fanboy is not going to do that. If you can't understand that simple construct to me, then you are a fucking idiot. And yeah, I am cussing because I have to say it. If you think I'm a Nintendo fanboy, that means that I obsess over them and I can't go anywhere else because that's what it means to be like an obsessive fanboy. You know what I mean? It's like, I only talk about this. Like, if you care about a sports team, I only want to talk about this player. Screw everything else, right? I don't care about anything else. I only care about what you're doing. I only want to back you up, even at a negative connotation, because though I know you're wrong, I'm still coming to defend you. You know what I mean? And no matter what, I got to root for this team, and it's all about this team only, and I can't be positive about anything else, right? Like some of these toxic fanboys. This toxic fanboy is a fanboy. There's nothing wrong with being a fanboy, by the way. I know plenty of people are like, yeah, you're an Xbox fanboy. I could see it. So, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a difference in understanding that somebody that is so obsessed with one side could never possibly go defend another side. You can't do it because you're too obsessed. I could never say anything positive about Xbox. I could never say anything positive about PC. I could never say anything positive about PlayStation. My whole channel will be flooded with Nintendo only. Yeah, you didn't even see that because there was nothing to talk about. I talk about what needs to be talked about the most, right? I've even said I don't agree with the 79.99 Mario Kart. But outside of that, what do you have to say that's negative? The price of 449 is that's reasonable. That's okay. I'm not saying that's impressive. I think impressive would have been 399. But yeah, where? Why? Because I'm saying I'm speaking the truth that Nintendo's better than PlayStation. Why, were you mad because I said it because they beat them? And they've been beating them handheld and console since the Wii, right? 101 million beat everybody. 154 million DSs, 256 million install base. That's the truth. That's not fanboy. That's the truth. So, and then they made a mistake with the Wii U. Yeah, that happened. Just like Sony at the same time fell with the Vita. That sold less than the Wii U. But guess what? They kept on going. Then they came with the Switch and they won again. And they never lost handheld wise. They've always beaten Sony. So who are you to think that you can jack the price up to $69.99 when you weren't winning? That's what I said in the last video. How is that being a fanboy? It's not. So yeah, you sound like you're butthurt because I proved that Sony is scared and panicking, so they did that PlayStation survey. Now here comes PMP. We're gonna get to all of them, y'all. I can't believe these people actually take this guy seriously. AG8 is going to abandon Xbox. Let's see if I do that. Glazing for Switch 2 slurping. PlayStation Pony, stop your toxicity. I know PlayStation this year has no games, so there's nothing positive to be about. Canceling all that. Concord, that's why you crawl out of the darkness to spread bad vibes. My man. He's getting on the feed. No, I'm going to keep it real. You want to defend Sony. It's okay. Don't bother, man. This guy is only here with his toxicity. He will just troll. Don't give him attention. Oh, I know, brother. Me and him have been through it. The funny thing is, he added me on PlayStation to see if my plans were. I accepted his friend request. I'm not going to take it personal. I'm not going to be a fanboy about it. I want an NES, not a Switch 2. Lol, that's pretty funny. LOL, Sony just getting feedback, bro. Nothing more. Like I said, he's here to defend Sony. Xbox doesn't need feedback since they have been stumped out. Okay, in a sense, you're right. But I'm going to say what I said in the last video about that statement. Remember, I'm not here to, I'm abandoning Xbox. No, Microsoft is not going to focus on this because it's stupid for them to focus on it. They're not playing this game anymore. They're playing the Game Pass Netflix game. They're playing the, I'm leaving the console race. I stepped out. It's over. We already know this. Phil Spencer already said it. Satya said too. There's no Xbox anymore. It's Microsoft Gaming. Xbox is over. It's done. So, and they're moving to all this other stuff. So why would they have a survey worrying about the Switch 2? They're not playing that game anymore. You would only do that if you're worried about your competitor beating you. And they threatened you. Microsoft's not threatening Sony. So therefore, Sony made a survey about the Switch 2 because they knew the Switch 1 beat them. They knew they lost to the Wii. They knew they lost to the DS. They knew they lost to the 3DS. They knew they lost to the Switch 1 and they're going to lose to the Switch 2. And Sony's not stupid enough to realize not realize that because they put Mario Kart at 80, that all of a sudden PlayStation's okay. No, it's still going to do crazy numbers. The Switch 2 is still going to do crazy numbers, regardless. This is understanding how the market works. I'm saying almost the same thing that I said in the last video. This is how you know when you can tell somebody's a fanboy and they can accept these facts. Tell me I'm wrong, that Mario Kart's not going to sell 40 to 50 million damn copies. Tell me I'm wrong that Switch 2 is not going to sell gangbusters and pass up the Xbox in 2 years. Or maybe a little bit longer than that. And that over time, the Switch 2 will outsell the PlayStation 5. That's just understanding how things work. It has nothing to do with being a fanboy. This is where I realized that I was like, you're just a dumbass to me. Because the only negative you have to spend on Nintendo is the $79.99 Mario Kart games. And I will agree with you, that is a problem. And that the problem that I have with Nintendo is that, and that they never dropped the damn price. But that's not anything new. This has been Nintendo forever. So, where's the fanboy stuff at? Am I excited? Hell yeah. I think anybody should be because console gaming is boring in a lot of ways. The Xbox has died off. Hardware sales. Sony's winning an easy goddamn race, and they're being fucking cocky and arrogant. They jacked the price up to $69.99. Nobody's challenging them. You don't think I should be excited about somebody else coming in the arena, slapping them around and putting them down and putting them in their place? Say, who the hell do you think you are? I just did that to you. Now you're getting cocky and arrogant again. You didn't win. You just beat Xbox. So what? That's not hard to do. So, right, being real over here. So, who do you think you are? I'm going to teach you the lesson again. And that's good. You want to just leave Sony doing what they're doing? No, man, I don't think so. It's exciting to see the competition get interesting again. So why is that bad? You want me to sit here and be a boring pessimist like you and get in my feelings? Say, oh, I can't handle this little stuff on the screen. Let me just go ahead and hit the little upset button. Oh, I'm in my feelings. I don't give a damn. Yeah, we keep it real. We keep it 100 over here. And I'm going to keep on keeping it real. And I'm going to give credit where it's due. And I'm not going to give credit where it's not due. And I will continue to be critical and aggressive on Sony because guess what? They haven't shown any improvement so far still. Nintendo's done a bunch of amazing things with the Switch too, besides that $179.99. And you think I'm gonna be some loser and sit here and ride coattail on a $79.99 price tag and be uncreative and boring and not see everything else they have done? And that's the only thing that exists? Nah, bro, we're not gonna be one of those boring ass, petty ass people. And grift off of the $79.99 price tag so that I can make money off of people. And sit there and try to act like I'm being Mr. Good Guy doing that. And let me try to justify, oh, look, man, they're doing a terrible thing. It's like, bro, everybody knows that. Well, what else do you have to say? Can you get somehow creative here and tell me what else is the problem? Because I don't really see it. Right? Look at their launch. Mario Kart World, right? Donkey Kong Next Gen, the next month. The Hyrule Warriors Tears of the Kingdom, right? The Elden Ring game, dropping the Pokemon getting a next gen, dropping Metroid getting a next gen, Xenoblade Chronicles 88 Metacritic, that's gonna get a next gen, Donkey Kong Country HD Returns back in January. Then we got all those other games. They have like 8 or 9 first party games dropping this year. They've been doing this for years. Microsoft just, for the first time in history, had to monopolize to do this. And you mean to tell me that's not amazing? Look how much you have there. You want to go to the Series X launch? That shit was trash compared to that. They had no first party games. Sony barely had, what, Demon Souls Remake? Where was their next gen flagship game? And they were charging $69.99 at launch for PS3 games. They did it with Last of Us 1. You mean to tell me that's not terrible? They're giving you brand new games to jack the price. You jacking the price up with fucking remakes or remasters, you know what I mean? And like PS3 games are like old. So once again, I don't agree with any of this, but like I said, it started over there. Watch their games sell 10, 15 million. Watch Pokemon sell 15 million copies. Watch Mario Kart sell 15, 20 million. Tell me what Xbox and PlayStation 5 game did that last gen. Is this fanboying? Or is it speaking facts? You fucking weak ass beta males. You guys are weak as hell. You can't handle facts. When facts come in front of your face, you want to start calling people fanboys because you can't handle it. All AGN did was speak facts. Just like I did in the other live the other live that I joined the other night. I have no problem with what I'm saying. I'm speaking nothing but facts here. I don't give a damn about fanboying. I'm all about the truth. Right here, baby. All about the truth. A lot of you people, you just care about your benefits that you're gonna get. And you only care about what you want to see. You're not even looking at the whole pie. You're not looking at the whole perspective. You really are the ones that are the fanboys without realizing that you can't handle anything positive unless it comes out for what only you're interested in. Rather than just looking at the thing neutrally and being able to give humanity the full picture about how things work honestly on every single fucking platform and every single side. You don't do this. So you're not genuine because you're not being 100% genuine about the way things work 100% organically. It's like I tell a lot of people, Microsoft's not playing this game because they can't. You mean to tell me if Halo was selling 30 to 40, 50 million copies, that they're going to be playing the game they're playing, and Gears selling 10 to 20 million, and they have 4 or 5 other IPs are selling 20, 30 million? Hell no, they'd still be playing that game. And Sony's playing the game because they could sell a lot of hardware and still sell decent enough. That's why they're still playing the game. Nobody else has abandoned the game but Microsoft. And now because they did that, you think everybody else should fall in line like they were leading the industry in first place and people need to follow their path? You're out of your mind. That's not the way it ever worked. They're doing that because they have a bunch of money. I call Sony out for their bullshit. I'll call Nintendo out for their bullshit. $79.99, never dropping the price. I'll call Xbox out on that bullshit. How is that fanboying? I'm calling it all out on every side, but I will not be dishonest about any of these situations. Screw that. No. The problem is you need to admit when your side is losing. You need to admit when the other side is doing better, and you need to give credit where it's due because that says a lot about you and not anyone else. Nintendo stomped that ass. Admit it. Stop being a beta male. And they beat you with technology that is way weaker. Graphic settings lower, but they still sold more on all. Why? Because they understand something they don't understand. How am I beating you, Wes? Let me go on a fighting game. I'm negative 70% handicap and I'm beating you. And you tell me I'm not better than you? You out your damn mind. Then to me, you are being a fraud. I'm beating you with bootleg settings and older technology. Not just hardware, but software as well. I didn't bend the knee to PC. I didn't bend the knee to Sony. I didn't bend the knee to Microsoft. How am I not better than you? And who do you think you are, Sony, to jack the price up over them? That's what I'm saying. That's not fair. No, that is real stuff right there. Why are we still arguing about this? Whether you think Game Pass is beneficial or not, whether you think you like Sony or not, the neutral standpoint is, hey man, I'm over here with these settings and I'm beating you with them. Who's better? You tell me anybody else, then to me you're full of shit. Ain't nobody better than Nintendo. That's not fanboy. No, it's the fact. I just proved it. I beat you in all these categories, and I have weaker technology. Why do you have 10 times the technology that I have? Why do you have 10 times the budget that I have? Why do you have 10 times the goddamn staff that you overwork to death, and you still can't do it? This is the shit that's disappointing to me in Western society. How do you have all that goddamn money and you're still losing? What's the problem then? It's you, it's your insides. So don't try to play these games on me, because I'm not going for it. This is why I'm burning down anybody like that, because you are full of shit. I don't care if you can afford it or not. I'm talking about what is the truth and what is not the truth. Who's better, who's not better, if we want to play all these damn games. Better graphics does not mean better. Because you have some people over here trying to justify price and value based off of graphics rather than how good the game actually is. This is the problem in Western society. You see it right now with these 300 million budgets and shitty ass, unfinished, broken, bootleg pronoun damn games and development departments that they have to go through. Y'all are fucking retarded to me, I swear. Like, it don't make no sense to me. The Japanese are doing a way better job and they do way more with less. That's being real about it. Sitting me over here with all this technology you have, all this money you have, billions and trillions, and you still can't even do, not even nowhere near as what the Japanese can do. It's a shame, man. And we have to call it out. Let's move on to the next fanboys. Yeah, I bet you ain't got nothing to say. Yeah, because AGN is real. You can't handle this fire. Because you know you're full of it. Anybody that thought that way. PlayStation having cheaper hardware than Nintendo, something I didn't see coming. Oh, really? 5 years later, you still haven't dropped the price? The PS5 should be, what, $100 cheaper now? So should the PS4 digital, so should the Series X. Ain't none of you drop the prices. All you motherfuckers are greedy. I'm just going to call it out. You've been putting greed in front of the gaming community before they even came with the Switch 2. This side is terrible. Season pass, microtransactions, $15 to $20 for DLC every single month. Never dropping the price. Raising it up to $69.99. $120, $150 games now. Ubisoft doing. It's insane, man. I don't understand how people are just looking at that. But then you want to just jump on this like, no, bro, you should have been doing that everywhere. I agree with, I saw Alex's video actually recently before my last video. I recently just checked it out. One thing that I like that he said is that we should have never got to even 59. Or we should be fighting for that right now. No, you guys allowed it to build up. This is why I said being complacent is not good. You allowed it to be built up for far too long. As a gaming community, we have to take the responsibility and say, we have to play our role too and say, we did agree with that. We were comfortable with that. Even it doesn't matter how long it was there, but it's more like they still make so much money, it's not even funny. No, you're always going to have money problems, not them. I'm not worried about them. Because they're going to be fine. They have so much money, it's not even funny. So, what are we talking about here? Ayo, PlayStation having cheaper hardware, dude. They never dropped the price, and it's a standard console that you plug up. The Switch is a hybrid. There's handhelds that cost $600-$700. They would have did 399 if the market value would have been okay. I was reading an article recently for some analysts overseas that said they did that because they thought that the tariffs are going to be 20 to 25%, and now it ended up being 45 to 50%. I thought the Switch 2 would have been amazing at 399. That was my original prediction. I said 399. If none of this garbage comes in and influence it, 449. Okay, I can understand for a handheld having 120 frames per second, VRR HDR on a handheld. Okay, I can dock it, and you're giving me the amazing space. Okay, yeah, it's a one-time thing. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? But 79.99 for Mario Kart, no. You know what I mean? No. But it's that simple. I've seen some people drag this on for days now, still talking about the same thing. It's like, really? There's a lot more other stuff to cover. Like, you see what I'm doing, all this other stuff. Because when it comes to covering something, I'm going to look at you and say, are you being balanced or not? Because I didn't see you say anything positive about Nintendo. You're only just complaining about one perspective. Like, that's the only thing that exists that they showed. There's all that software. There's all the hardware. There's all these things I just talked about with the 120, all these things. I don't see a single video from any of you talking about it. Why is that? Because a lot of you are Xbox, PlayStation fanboys. Yet AGN talks about all of them. He covers all of them. I'm on my high-end gaming PC right now. You know what I mean? I got my PlayStation 5 right here, my PlayStation 5 controller right here. You know what I mean? I got my Xbox controller right here. You know what I mean? I got my other, I support multiple Xbox controllers right here, right? I got my Switch 1 sitting right there. And I'm on my high-end gaming PC here right now. I swear, some of the stuff people say to me blow my mind because it's like, are you stupid? Or you just can't afford it? Okay, that's fine. That's not wrong for you to speak up because of that, because you would like to be able to afford more things. Okay, but be genuine about it, please. And there's people that have money. Ain't no problem to you. But know why you're doing that? Because you're just cheap. So don't make it seem like you're cheap is okay to justify it because you just want to be cheap. That's why I say I don't care about any of it. No, let's just look at it. Is this right or is this wrong? Regardless of whether I'm cheap, whether I can afford it, is this the right thing? The only thing that I see wrong from Nintendo is the $79.99. That's it. But there's so much more to embrace positively outside of that. And if you don't think that, you're not wrong because of that. No, that's your free will of choice. Who am I to say that? You could be looking at the Xbox handheld and feel okay about it, even though they may only sell like 5 to 10 million copies. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I mean, that's cool, but do you guys think that this is going to move the industry? The PlayStation handheld will sell it. If Sony comes out with one, why? Brand. If they're not buying your Series X, do you think they're going to buy your handheld? Or why? Nobody's going to care. Because you're not giving them a dedicated handheld that is going to have its own developed games. Or it's like, this is it. Now putting on a dock, this is a whole console together. That's the only way I could play Nintendo. Remember, the Xbox stuff is like, oh, well, I could do that on my laptop right now. I could do that on my Xbox right now. I could do it on my. It's an optional addition, right? I really don't care much about getting that because I'm going to have to switch too. And if I want to play my Xbox games, I could bring my laptop with me anywhere I go and plug it up. And I have my desktop right here. And if I only had the console, sure. But is somebody wrong for getting that? I don't think so. But what I'm saying is that keep your reality in check and realize that it's not going to sell 40, 50, 60, 70 million copies. That Xbox handheld? Mm-mm. It may do better than the Steam Deck, yeah. Which only sold 4 million in a couple years, which is not good. But the thing is that they're supplementary. Anything I could do on the Steam Deck, I already can do right here. Why would I do that? Most PC users are not going to care about that. That's why it only sold 4 million. They care about their desktops. They care about their laptops more than anything. And it shows. And it has nothing to do with being a fanboy. That's just, this is how it actually works. He's just saying exactly how things work. Right? And I'm a passionate being. So you'll see me get energetic. You know what I mean? Get bigger. Yeah, I'm fire. AGN ain't boring. AGN ain't lukewarm, and I could be still down and all that stuff too. But it's like, yeah, bro. So what is he talking about? Having a portable system almost on par with the current gen is something I didn't see coming. LMAO. Valve, and here goes another loser right here. Valve and Xbox have cheaper hardware. But we know, once again, this guy is a fanboy. Look at what he did. He's trying to bring in the Steam Deck, right? Which does not have a dock. The Switch has a dock, and it's $449. You can only play Nintendo games there. He didn't put up to 120 frames per second, which this can't do. He didn't put VRR. This is fanboy shit right here. He didn't put 4K. He didn't put anything. He just only wanted to put what he wanted to put and make it seem this way. Because this guy's a PlayStation fanboy, by the way. This is not because he thinks it's about Steam Deck. It's because he wants everything to look bad towards PlayStation. Because they'll dump on Xbox too. See what I mean? A fanboy only defends one platform and he never does anything positive for any other platform. It's all about making his platform look positive. That's it. If you can't understand that simple definition to me, then you are a moron. I've never in my life seen more than ever today labels be used in a wrong means consistently. And you guys know what I'm talking about with the grifting, all that stuff. It gets out of line and it's always from fanboys. Not a single person alive saw the PlayStation 5 posting costing $700 and went, yes, this is awesome. Agreed. This is still the biggest problem. This is fine. You know what I mean? This is fine. We already talked about what the problem is. One simple little problem. You go to the PlayStation world, there's 100 different problems. You see what I'm saying? That's all I had to say here, y'all. So, you know, this has to be one of these long videos where I get intense. I didn't call out any names or anything because it's not really like that, but it's more like, who are you talking to? If you've seen all of my work, do you know who I am? No, you don't. You wouldn't be saying stupid stuff like that. And I've told people in all my other videos I love Nintendo the most, but I'm not a fanboy. No. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a great day. Let me know what y'all think about this. Ponies, come on in. Come on. And whoever else. Later, y'all.